Hey, welcome to Wiley's Book Workshop. Today we're going to show you part one of my Millennium Falcon build. Let's get into it. So I was doing a lot of research on this, and I found a really cool Instructables from Kyle Gilbert, who's also in the Star Wars Room Builders group. A really cool guy. He made everything available for me, so this is great. I 3D printed a bunch of his stuff, and I'm going to include that in the build. So first thing was all about the TV. I had to get the right size TV for the spot that it was in. Got an 82-inch TV, shoved it in the hole, and I wanted to kind of move it around. It comes out, I think, 43 inches from the wall, and I could kind of spin it around and stuff. Move it wherever you want. Let's say you have a whole bunch of people, don't just want to have it in one spot. You could kind of pull it out, tilt it to the one side. I can move it around so you can see it better from the cantina or whatever. I just wanted to have it movable. So my idea for this part is like you get in your car and when you're driving, everything's coming at you. So I asked my buddy Tony Fullen from Docking Bay 327 to hook me up with a video of footage coming like from a planet, like I'm flying over a planet. He gave me the same footage, but this time it's kind of like I'm looking out my side view. So I have that in this footage where you could see that the footage is kind of going sideways. And if I look forward, it's kind of coming at you. So I want to give it that feel of like you're in a spaceship. Comfortable chairs versus gaming chairs. First I was going to go with a comfortable chair, like a leather recliner or something like that. But then I'm like, I really won't get the look of a spaceship if I do that. So I went with gaming chairs, and now we could all roll around and smack into each other and stuff like that. Plus the ones that I got have nice little, they could recline, and they have a little thing that comes out for your feet, so you can kind of recline and have your feet up. So I put this frame up and I cut the wood because I knew what size approximately that I was going to use, but I didn't know what kind of angle I wanted. So I put this in here, I duct taped it together, and then I was actually putting nails in the wall to kind of give me the correct angles that I was looking for. Once I got the correct angle, then I took a piece of paper, I shoved it down in between, and I drew what shape the angles were, and then I was able to make it. So when I first put the TV in there, I realized that in order for it to look like a really good cockpit, you needed to have the knee room. So if I'm sitting there on my chair, that my knees could actually go underneath the cockpit part, like the dashboard. When I did that and made it look okay, then I realized that it actually sticks up 6 inches into where the TV is. So I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna have it where the whole thing comes out on like rollers, where the whole cockpit moves. So I started playing with things. Am I gonna have it flip down? All right, well, let's just use this little center console part as the beer holders and all that, and then I'll just make the whole cockpit part move up and down. I only needed 6 inches, so that's what you see what's going on right here. Once I knew what the angles were, then I knew I had to build the frame and something to make it so it's not as wobbly, and I wanted to have it where my linear actuator would make everything nice and sturdy as it goes up and down. I'm a stickler for leaving sharp objects, so I always sand stuff down and I get rid of all the pointy things in my builds. Alright, now we're going to talk about the linear actuator. I found a power supply that was 12 volt DC. I tied the power supply leads to the blue wires on the switch, and then I tied the linear actuator motor, they were red and black, to the red and black on the switch. Yay, it works. So now I started working on the mounting for the actuator. Started beefing everything up, making sure everything was nice and tight and level and straight. Marking direct center of where the actuator is going to mount. Installing the actuator with the pin and the cotter pin. Typically only bend one over. So I'm going to start thinking how I'm going to hold this up so that it goes up and down nicely. So I decided to use drawer slides. I got a set of them, and they come apart really nice and really work nicely. So I just had to make sure that I put it together right, straight, level, up and down. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm making the cockpit level, so that way I could use my level to make sure it's level. I pre-drilled all of my holes, so that way I didn't split any of my wood. So I got the bottom part in, and now I was just making sure that this was level. I left my one bit in, so that way I wouldn't have to fart around. Pre-drilled, and then started putting the screws in. Worked great. Now it's time to install the slides. I pre-drilled the holes, made sure that I didn't tighten them down all the way because I wanted to check to see how good I did with the hole drilling. So I wanted to measure and make sure everything was correct before tightening them up. So I built the box that connects to my framing there, and I made sure that I put my cockpit up to where it was going to be at its max height. So then I just put some boards under there so I could test everything out before installing the true mounts, find out what I need. So now it's time for my center console. I just built a little box, put some rollers on it, and there I'm testing it. You can see how it's like wobbling. So I'm like, oh, I gotta put these little feet on so that way the chances of it tipping are a lot better. So I'm just putting these all around here. It's gonna look like a simple box for now until I decide what I'm gonna do. But I'm eventually gonna put greeblies and stuff on it, probably some holes for beer coasters and a bunch of cool different stuff, some lights. I have an idea for a little battery bank that'll go along with it, that'll charge when it's in its place, and when you pull it away it'll light up. So here it is in place, and I'm checking out the center cockpit area where the levers are going to go. Here's some push buttons going into the build. So now I figured out what I needed, and I just wanted to put this together quick. I eventually glued it all together. Here I am tracing out where the levers are going to go. 4 levers, but I think only 2 of them have that cover on it. So just going to drill some holes to get it started. I don't know why I did that, because I normally pick up this guy. I don't know why. Just seems easy for me. Better control. Always sand her down, make it look nice. So originally I was gonna paint everything, but then I decided I'll go with HD foam, so that way if I mess stuff up I could just replace the foam. So I'm using barge here. Well, similar to barge. And using the old heat up trick to close the cells, and I use Plastidip, which really came out nice. I think I did 3 coats. Here I'm pop riveting that on. I did have to go buy some bigger ones. Okay, that's it for this one. You're going to have to check out part 2 for the rest of the build, but here's a few pictures to keep you guessing. Later. Alright, that's going to be it for this one. If you liked it, like it. If you want to come back again and see me, subscribe. And if you want to know when part 2 comes out, ring that bell. Peace! Till next time, I'll see you later.